Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj, Adhyaksha, Ramakrishna Math, Bengaluru. I now request our volunteer Uday Patil to garland Reverend Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj, Director, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. I request our volunteer Pavan Shanbhag to garland Reverend Swami Atma Prananandaji Maharaj, Secretary, Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama, Belagavi. I request our volunteer Sri Shail Yedahalli to garland Professor Raghuv Kashi. We thank all the volunteers for doing the honors.
Today we have with us Reverend Swami Nityasthanandaji Maharaj. Swami Nityasthanandaji Maharaj is the Adhyaksha of Ramakrishna Math, Bangalore. Swamiji joined the Ramakrishna order in the year 1972 and received his Sannyasa Diksha in the year 1982. Swamiji has served as the President of Ramakrishna Ashrama, Mysore, as Acharya in the Training Center, Belur Math, and as Secretary of Ramakrishna Mission, Davankere. Swamiji is an erudite scholar and has authored many books in Kannada, namely Srimate Sharada Devi, Ekagrateya Kale, Vyaktitvada Belavanige, Jeevanada Maulyagalu, Paripurna Vyaktitva. Swamiji has also translated many books like The Great Master, complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda Divya Smriti from English to Kannada. His learned articles have appeared in leading journals both in Kannada and English. Swamiji was the first editor of Ramakrishna Order's Kannada magazine Viveka Prabha. His editorials received unprecedented appreciation. Swamiji has special groundings in Indian and Western philosophy and psychology. Swamiji has addressed thousands of students, teachers, professionals and devotees. We are very fortunate to have Swamiji with us to enlighten us on the topic education and social responsibility. Swamiji, I request you to kindly address the gathering.
Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Respected Swamiji, Bodhamayanandaji, Sri Raghuv and other brother monks, and my dear students. Education and social responsibility. The primary aim of education is not just the preparing the students for examination or to get some degrees, or making them equip themselves to eke out their livelihood in society. The primary aim of education is to create the citizens with a great sense of responsibility, individual as well as social. So that is why there are two dimensions of education. One is objective education, another is subjective education. Objective education refers to all the subjects are taught, different kinds of subjects that are taught in the schools and colleges, like science, philosophy, psychology, physics, so many things. These can be considered as objective education since it is related to the object outside. Here, main aim is to gather some information from different subjects, different sources. There is another very important dimension of education, that is subjective education. It is related to the individual. How I can improve myself, develop my personality, what is my real personality is. How to improve myself, how to evolve myself, how to become a real responsible citizen in the world, in the society. How can I serve the society effectively? These are some of the important aspects that are to be learned and understood and put into practice. This is very important. So when these two dimensions of educations are combined together harmoniously, then it will create a citizens with a sense of great responsibility. This is very important point to be noted. These two dimensions of education are very important. And Antonio Di Mello makes a very pertinent statement. There are two kinds of education. One teaches how to make a living. Another teaches how to live. How to live. Obviously, it is clear that the first one is how to make a living refers to this objective education. The second one, how to live, refers to the subjective education. So both are important. We have to understand this. Having objective education, so much of knowledge about the things of the world is not enough. Unless a person evolves, becomes a responsible citizen, a responsible person for himself as well as society, the knowledge that he gains is harmful to himself as well as to the society. It is happening. For example, there is a weapon is there, a deadly weapon is there. If it is given to a person who is irresponsible, who is not morally responsible, without any character, then what he will do, he will use it for destructive purpose. If the same weapon is given to a responsible person, having the individual as well as social responsibility, with a strong character, he will use it for constructive purpose. Same weapon can be used for both destructive as well as constructive. So that is why knowledge is a power, it is a weapon. As Swami Vivekananda says, knowledge is power, it is a great weapon. It can be used either for destruction or for construction. So that means the person uses that knowledge must also be highly responsible, highly evolved in character and moral principles. This is most important point to be noted. So that is why a combination of these two areas are very essential, and every student, every teacher must also understand these two dimensions of education must be implemented in schools and school curriculum. Now we shall come to the point, what is this responsibility? What are the responsibilities? There are two kinds of responsibility. One is individual responsibility as well as social responsibility. Individual responsibilities indicates, as Swami Vivekananda says, you are the maker of your own destiny. You are responsible for what you are now. If I am happy, I am responsible for it. If I am miserable, if I am bad, I am responsible for it. You are the maker of your own destiny. Whatever that you do, whatever that you think, whatever that you talk, it makes you what you are. So that is why Swami Vivekananda always warns, what you think, what you talk, what you do, be very careful about them. It is going to indelible impressions on the personality. So that is why everything that we do will have its own indelible impressions within the mind, within our own personality. That is why it won't simply go away as it is uttered, as it is done. So that is why it is going to affect me adversely or favorably according to how I think, how I talk, how I behave. So that is why everyone must be very careful about what he does. That is why this personal responsibility is very important. One must have the capacity to take the entire responsibility of what he is, what he does, not putting the blame on somebody else. Not saying that what I am is for this, is the society is responsible, or parents are responsible, or some fate is responsible, or some God is responsible. No. Swamiji says, we are responsible. Swamiji says, Vivekananda says, when you are able to take the entire responsibility of what I am now, the best thing will come out, he says. The highest personality will manifest, he says. So that is why entire responsibility is mine. I must take the responsibility. I must feel that I am responsible for what I am. Normally, we have got a tendency to blame the society, blame the parents. There are two brothers who were there. One was leading a wonderful life. He was a man of character, great character, earning his livelihood with an integration. Another was vagabond, no character at all. Gambling, etc. He had that habit of gambling, etc. So he was not doing well. He was not leading a good life. Somebody asked him, why you are doing like this? Why you are living such a bad life without any character and all that? See your brother, he is doing very well. He is so noble. Then that fellow told, see, I am not responsible for this. See my father, he is so bad, gambling, womanizing, all sorts of things, all sorts of bad habits he has got. How can you expect his son to be good in such a situation? That was his response. And the same question is asked to the other brother who was leading a noble life. He responded, see my father, he was so bad, without any character, all sorts of bad habits he has got. Seeing that, I decided I should not live this kind of life. I must lead a wonderful life, noble life, responsible life. So he thought like that. So he became a wonderful person. So taking the entire responsibility is very important. Unless we take the entire responsibility on ours, not blaming the others, not blaming the society or something else, that is very important. So that is why that is individual responsibility. Whatever I am responsible for it. So you are the maker of your own destiny, as Swami Vivekananda puts it. Other point to be noted here in this context is the sense of freedom is there. For example, as youth, you always think, I must be free. I must have sufficient freedom for whatever that I do. Whatever I desire, I must fulfill it. I must have the freedom to do that. Whatever I think I have to express myself, I must have that freedom. I must have the freedom to move about anywhere I like. I must have the freedom to fulfill my own desires, my own sense gratifications. This kind of, this kind of sense of freedom is there especially in the youth. So, then it conflict, this kind of freedom, this idea of freedom conflicts with the responsibility. Freedom and responsibility must always go together, as Swami Vivekananda says. This kind of, what generally thought of, what is that freedom? That freedom is a licentiousness, it is not real freedom. Freedom has got three characteristics. One is self-discipline. The second one is responsibility, sense of responsibility. The third one is respecting the freedom of others. These are the three important characteristics of the freedom. The first one is self-discipline. I have to discipline myself. When I discipline myself only, my freedom will have its own value. It helps me. So that is why, unless a person is self-disciplined, the freedom that he enjoys is not only harmful to himself, but also harmful to the society. Self-disciplining is very important. You have to take all the rules and regulations that are there as if for your own self. You have to accept it, internalize them. You have to accept it in your own mind, in your own emotions, with your emotions. You have to accept it. That is why when you are able to accept it and internalize them, then you will be able to follow them naturally. For example, I give an example. There's a caterpillar is there. Caterpillar builds its own shell around it, and within that it grows itself and comes out at a point of time and fly freely with beautiful butterfly. As a beautiful butterfly it comes out. So freely it moves about, fly about. For that, it has to discipline itself within that shell. So similarly, you have to put ourselves within the shell of so many moral disciplines, moral rules and regulations, social rules and regulations. Within that, I have to grow. Then only I can come out of it freely. I can feel the real freedom of it. So that is why that freedom is very important. There is I read in a particular book, very beautiful example to illustrate this one. For example, children play the kite. The kite is flying high and higher and higher and higher. It is freedom. And the thread is there, and the child has to firmly hold that thread. And at the same time, it has to make it free also, loose it also, make it loose also, so that it can go up and up and up. At the same time, it has to hold the thread firmly. If the thread is cut, then what happens? That kite will somehow, move about here and there and fall somewhere else and get destroyed. That flying higher and higher, that is freedom. And holding the thread firmly is self-discipline. Both are necessary. If the self-discipline is not there, that freedom is harmful. So that is why these two must be always combined together. Freedom and self-discipline. You have to discipline yourself. Then only your freedom will have real value. The another is, as Swami Vivekananda puts it, it's a sense of great responsibility. Swami Vivekananda says, nothing makes us work so well at our best and highest as when all the responsibility is thrown upon ourselves. When all the responsibility is on us, then only the highest things will come out, the best things will come out, best personality will emerge. So that is why we have to have that sense of responsibility. No, nothing to blame others. As there's, that two brothers, example I give the brothers, two brothers, not to blame somebody else. I have to take the responsibility. This is another important point to be noted. Another is the respecting the freedom of others. You have to respect the freedom. As I want freedom, I enjoy freedom, I must allow others also to enjoy freedom. I should not curb the freedom of others. I should not come in the way of their freedoms. So I have to respect the freedom of others. This is another important point. There is a nice, funny things or the funny story is there. One person was, moving his, stick and going in this road. And haphazard way, in an indisciplined way, he was moving like this. And that tip of the stick, other tip of the stick, touched the nose of a particular individual in front. And that individual shouted at him, "What is this you are doing? You are hitting me. What is this?" And this fellow told, "Who are you to ask that? I am free. I am free. I can do anything. I am living in a democratic life, democratic society. I can do anything. Who are you to question?" He said. Then he said, "Your freedom ends where my nose begins," he said. So that is it. There is a limit to our freedom also. We should not disturb the freedom of others. That comes only when we are self-disciplined. When you are really enjoy the freedom of, and allow others to enjoy their freedom also. So that is why these are the three important characteristics of the freedom. One is self-discipline, another is a sense of responsibility, another is respect with the freedom of others. Swami Vivekananda says, those who do not respect the freedom of others, they are unfit to enjoy their freedom, he says. Unfit to enjoy their freedom. So that is why these are the three important points to be noted here, as far as the individual responsibility is concerned. And another point to be noted is social responsibility. We have got, I quote Swami Vivekananda here, what is your social responsibility? So long as the millions live in hunger and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor, who, having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. Having been educated at the expense of the masses, common people, and if you do not care for their welfare, for their good, for their betterment, Swami Vivekananda calls them as traitor. So this is the social responsibility. This is the social commitment we have. I narrate one particular story. It's not a story actually happened. I read somebody in their speech. It is told by somebody. I heard it during their speech. Long back, there was a letter from a highly qualified IAS officer to the editor of a particular daily magazine. The editor's column would be then writer's column, letters to the editor column is there, for that letter he has written. In that letter, that IAS officer, narrated one particular personal incident, personal anecdote. What is that anecdote? He said he was going for a picnic in one particular day. Picnic means, they go for some village areas, countryside, and with their family, children, and with all the food items and all that. So they went like that one day, and in the early morning, they were taking a breakfast at the bottom of the tree, below the tree, at the shade of the tree. Some distance away, there was another tree was there, in which so many nests of birds, beautiful nests were formed. They are all being hanged in the branches, to the branches. The weaver's bird, they weave a very beautiful nests. So the IAS officer thought, let me take 2 or 3 nests and take it home and keep it in a showcase. After the breakfast, he went to the tree, approached the tree, and found he was not able to pluck it because it is branches are quite away, above. He could not reach it. So he saw here and there, and there was one village boy was there standing with a stick, and maybe a covered boy or a shepherd, and he called him, "Please come." That boy came. He told the boy, "Do you know how to climb the tree?" "Yes, sir, I know." "Can you pluck one or two nests for me? I have to take it to home." "No, sir," he said. "No, sir." He went on persisting him, pressing him to do that favor, but flatly refused. That boy flatly refused. No, sir, I can't." Then he was a IAS officer, he knew how to bribe and all that. Take the bribe and give the bribe and all that. He took out 50 rupees notes and placed before him and said, "Take this and pluck one or two nests for me." And that boy flatly refused. "No, sir, I don't want your money. I will not do that. Don't press me anymore," he said. Then the IAS officer asked, "Why? What is going to happen? Why don't you do that? What is the harm?" Then the boy explained, "You see, you take the nest, and within that nest, there are so many eggs are there. That young birds are there. Young birds are there. What you have to do? You have to throw them away and take the nest to your house. And evening, that mother bird will come, seeing all its eggs and young ones are died. It wallows, screams like anything, with so much of pain and suffering. Sir, I can't see that. I can't see that. That is why I will not pluck." Narrating this story, he puts a very pertinent question. Who is really educated? Who is really educated? Having so much of education, so much of degrees, if you do not have any kind of concern for the suffering people, if you don't feel for them at all, what is the use of such education? What is the use? So that is why Swami Vivekananda says, you must have great concern for the society. That is a great commitment. That is a great responsibility. You have that responsibility to do good to the society, to help the people in everywhere that is possible. So that is a great commitment you have. That is one thing very important to be noted. So that is why he always emphasizes you have to feel for the sufferings of others. He says 3 things are very important. One is to be a socially responsible person. 3 things are very important. One is, he asks, do you feel for the people? Do you feel that millions are suffering next door to the brutes without any education, with so much of ignorance and all that, hungry and all that? Do you feel for them? Do you feel for them? He asks repeatedly. This is the first thing, first qualification to be a responsible citizen. And the second one is, he says, not only feeling, are you able to understand the real suffering? What is the cause of the suffering? How to eliminate, how to alleviate, how to solve their problems? Are you able to think deeply about it? Are you able to understand all these things? That means first a feeling heart must be there. That great thinking head also must be there. And these two not enough, he says. There is another thing also is necessary. That is, are you able to do something facing all the problems and difficulties on the way? Do something. Not only just feeling and thinking, but also you must be able to do something, achieve something. So that is another important quality that you have to have. there is a very interesting thing in, I read in one book, the Daniel Goleman, there is a book titled Focus. In that, he speaks of the same thing. Same ideas of Swami Vivekananda puts in a psychological terms, that's all. He says 3 kinds of empathies are there, he says. 3 stages of empathy. Empathy, you know, the great concern for others, sahanubhuti. You can say in English, in Sanskrit it is called sahanubhuti. That means capacity to experience others' sufferings as well as happiness. Putting myself in their position and enjoy it or experience it. So that empathy, there is 3 kinds of empathies are there. 3 kinds of empathy. One is emotional empathy. Emotional empathy. Swami Vivekananda says, you know, do you feel for them? Do you feel so many millions and millions of people are suffering and hungry? Do you feel for them? That is emotional empathy. And the second one is, he says, the cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy means you must be able to understand it properly. You must think deeply for them. You must be able to understand their real cause for their suffering. You must be able to do what is the solution for it. That also you must be able to understand. That is cognitive empathy. That is what Swami Vivekananda says, you must be able to understand their real suffering. So that is another stage is there. Swami Vivekananda says, you must do something, not only thinking and feeling, but you must do something, achieve something, do something to them. So that is, he calls it empathetic concern. Empathetic concern. So it was so striking to me when I read all these things. So it's so similar to the Swamiji's ideas, as though he has taken Swami Vivekananda's ideas and put it in his own psychological terms. So that is why these are the 3 important points to be noted, that emotional empathy and cognitive empathy as well as empathetic concern, these 3 you must have to be a real responsible citizen of the society. Another thing that I want to emphasize is why we should do good to the society. Why we should do good to the society. Because Swami Vivekananda's statement is there. No one can achieve one's own good without at the same time promoting the good of others. I cannot simply grow myself or do something, for myself, absolutely not caring for the society and others at all. I must do something, because unless society is in a good condition, healthy condition, I cannot be happy in that society. It's not possible. For example, you take this physical system itself. If the whole system is healthy, and all the parts of the body also would be healthy. I cannot just, for example, hand is required for me, because do the work, let the hand be strong. I don't care for the whole body itself. That cannot be possible. That's not possible. Even if you are able to make the hand strong, and it is an abnormal condition. It is an abnormal condition. So that is why, if any part of the body must be healthy and active, the whole system also must be healthy and active. This is holistic understanding of the things. So that is why, if I am to be happy, I am to do something in the society, I must be happy in the, healthy in the society. Society also must be healthy. If the society is unhealthy, why is it poisonous? How can you be happy in that society? There is a farmer was there. Very good farmer. He was doing the farming very, very efficiently, and every year he used to get the best seed award from the government. Best seed award from the government. And he was giving the best seeds for the neighboring farmers also for cultivation. One friend asked him once, you see, you are getting award every year, and at the same time you are giving the best seed for the neighboring farmers to cultivate. How is that? For example, in course of time, they will get the prize. You lose the prize, is it not? Then the farmer responded very, very meaningfully. You see, if I give the bad seeds for their cultivation, corrupt seed for their cultivation, what happens, when they cultivate, the neighboring field also is mine is neighboring field, and in course of time, because of the cross pollination, seeds of my field also will get corrupt. So for my own good, I have to give best seeds for their cultivation. Similarly, for my own good, I have to do good to the society. This is a very important point to be noted. For example, you can say there is a particular lake would be there, very huge reservoir would be there. There are so many in the cities, cities like this, so many reservoirs would be there. So reservoirs, what happens in course of time, they get completely poisonous. Earlier, the water is so pure, it can be the water can be drunk. It can be drunk, and all other useful purpose it could be used. But in course of time, what happens? It gets corrupted. Some people will say, "Oh, what this much of bad things are garbage. If I put into the water, nothing is going to happen. Reservoir is so big, so vast, nothing would happen." So thinking like that, everybody put all sorts of nonsense to the reservoir, and in course of time, it becomes corrupt, poisonous. Even the water-bound animals also can remain safe there. It's become so poisonous. So that is how we have, polluted so many reservoirs in the cities. So similar is the case with the society. Society also is a huge reservoir. If you act immorally, it is as good as putting a drop of poison into that reservoir. You think, this whole reservoir society is so vast. If I do something immoral, nothing is going to happen. We think like that. Thinking like that, everybody does the same thing. And in course of time, society becomes so poisonous and corrupt, and nobody can be happy in that society. Such a pitiable thing happens. That is how we have created that kind of society without having any kind of responsibility, personal or individual or social responsibilities. So that is why everybody must have the sense of responsibility, creating the good society, a healthy society for my own good, for everybody else's good. This kind of sense of responsibility is very essential. That is why one must grow from the selfishness, self-centeredness to the social centeredness, and from there to God-centeredness. These are the stages of growth. For example, normally, we are all selfish. We are all selfish. It is not necessary that I must remain always selfish. They speak of the selfish genes. There is a selfish gene, one particular book is there titled Selfish Gene. Genes are always selfish. Because of that, we are all selfish. But it is not necessary, that author himself says, it is not necessary that I must remain always selfish. I must bound to the selfish genes. I must overgrow it. So that is why I must overgrow the selfishness, self-centeredness. You have to come out of the self-centeredness and become the other-centeredness, social-centeredness, social consciousness, social responsibility I must be able to develop. And then this still further growth is there. That is the God-centeredness, the spiritual development. I can illustrate this with an example. There is a ice block is there, ice block. It has got a definite shape. It cannot grow beyond its own shape. Its own shape. So beyond that is because it is a solid thing. It's a solid thing. But if you heat it, what happens, it becomes water. It spreads all around. It is a social expansion. It spreads all around. It becomes wavy. Then it becomes active. That means wavy means it becomes active. If you heat it further, what happens, it goes up as a vapor. Similarly, initially we are all selfish, like a ice block. We can't grow beyond that, our own selfish motivation, our own self-bound motivation, our own genetic existence beyond. We can't grow beyond our own genetic existence, biological existence. But if you have got that great sense of understanding, knowledge, the fire of knowledge, heat of knowledge, then what happens, our personality melts. Socially expands. Then the spiritual, with the help of the spiritual knowledge, what happens, we spiritually also we grow, God-centeredness. We go up and up spiritually. So this is how our personality must grow. We must have, first of all, the individual responsibility, as well as social responsibility, and also there is another highest responsibility, that is spiritual responsibility. That spiritual responsibility also you must be able to understand and try to follow that one. What is that spiritual responsibility? You must be able to read so many different spiritual books are there. The Ashrama is there. We can come here, and what is spirituality? How to develop the spiritual responsibility? How to evolve spiritually? All these things you can come to know when you come here and read spiritual books and also meet the sadhus here. So with these few words, I conclude my speech, wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Swamiji, for enlightening us on the aim and dimensions of education, on the role of freedom and responsibility for our development, on the characteristics of freedom, and the different ways to become citizens of great social, moral, and spiritual responsibility. On behalf of the Ashrama and the delegates, I thank Swamiji for guiding us all. We will now have a tea break. I request the girls to move from your right side and the boys to move from your left side and take tea, which is arranged behind this building. Kindly assemble back soon and occupy your seats. Washroom service is also available behind and in front of this auditorium.
A copy of the invitation.
ಕಡಲಿಗೆ ಹಾರಿದು ಮುಗಿದ, ಹಾರಿದು ಮುಗಿದ, ಮೊರೆಯುವ ಕಡಲಿಗೆ ಹಾರಿದು ಮುಗಿದ. ತೆರೆಗಳ ಸೀಳಿದ, ಈಜಿದ, ನುಗ್ಗಿದ, ತೆರೆಗಳ ಸೀಳಿದ, ಈಜಿದ, ನುಗ್ಗಿದ, ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಬಂಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೂರಿದ. ಬಾನೆತ್ತರ ಬೆಳೆದ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಗೋಪುರವಾದ, ಬಾನೆತ್ತರ ಬೆಳೆದ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಗೋಪುರವಾದ. ಆ ಧ್ರುವ ಮಂಡಲದಿಂದ ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ, ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ. ದಕ್ಷಿಣೇಶ್ವರದ ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಕೋಶಾಗಾರ, ಪೂರ್ವ ಪಶ್ಚಿಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಂತಿಯ ಹಾಯಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟನು ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಆಹಾರ. ದಕ್ಷಿಣೇಶ್ವರದ ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಕೋಶಾಗಾರ, ಪೂರ್ವ ಪಶ್ಚಿಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಂತಿಯ ಹಾಯಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟನು ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಆಹಾರ. ಕೊಲಂಬೋದಿಂದ ಆಲ್ಮೋರದ ತನಕವು ಇವನದೆ ಮಿಂಚಿನ ತೇರು, ಕೊಲಂಬೋದಿಂದ ಆಲ್ಮೋರದ ತನಕವು ಇವನದೆ ಮಿಂಚಿನ ತೇರು. ಇವನಡಿಗಳ ನುಡಿಗಳ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶಕ್ಕೆ ಝಕ್ಕನೆ ಹತ್ತದೆ ಇದ್ದವರಾರು. ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ, ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ. ಮೈ ಉಕ್ಕಿನ ನರಕುಣಿ ಮಿಂಚಿನ ಕಣ್ಣು, ಹುಡುಗಿನ ದನಿ ಹೊನಲಿನ ನಡೆಯದೆ ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳ ಹಣ್ಣು. ವಜ್ರದ ಮೈ ಉಕ್ಕಿನ ನರಕುಣಿ ಮಿಂಚಿನ ಕಣ್ಣು, ಹುಡುಗಿನ ದನಿ ಹೊನಲಿನ ನಡೆಯದೆ ಬೆಳದಿಂಗಳ ಹಣ್ಣು. ಕವಿ ಋಷಿ ಯೋಗಿ ಸಂತ, ಕವಿ ಋಷಿ ಯೋಗಿ ಸಂತ, ಲೋಕಾದ್ಯಂತ ನಡೆವ ವಸಂತ, ಲೋಕಾದ್ಯಂತ ನಡೆವ ವಸಂತ. ಆ ಧ್ರುವ ಮಂಡಲದಿಂದ, ಆ ಧ್ರುವ ಮಂಡಲದಿಂದ ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ, ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ. ಓ ಬಂದ, ಓ ಬಂದ, ಓ ಬಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ.
जय विवेकानंद गुरुवर।
I request the delegates who have had their tea to come back and occupy your seats.
darkness go? Will are the wisp that leads with blinking
I request all of you to please settle down as soon as possible. We'll soon begin with the next speech. I repeat, please settle down. Please settle down and occupy your seats. We'll begin with the next speech very soon. I request the volunteers to please guide all the delegates and the students to occupy their respective seats. Dear friends, please occupy your seats. I request all our volunteers to kindly guide all the students and the delegates to occupy the seats as soon as possible. I request all the volunteers near the bookstall to kindly assemble in the auditorium hall. I request you all to kindly occupy the front seats. Please occupy the seats in the front row. The Swamijis and the guests will be on the dais in a minute. Please maintain the decorum of the hall. Before we begin with the next speech, I request you all to please switch off your phones or else at least put them in the silent mode. I also request you all to please maintain silence and maintain the decorum of the hall. Dear friends, those who wish to ask questions to our speakers can write them down in the slips that will be provided by our volunteers in the hall. These questions will be collected later and addressed to in the question and answer session. Now, we have a talk by Professor Raghav Kashi on the topic, Youth, the Future of India. To tell a few words about him, Professor Raghav Kashi has over 3 decades of teaching and training experience. He has trained students, teachers and corporates both in India and abroad. He has conducted many training sessions for private and public sector organizations like Aditya Birla, Metahelix, Indo-French Drug Company, BHEL, DRDO, BTC, Wipro, Infosys and various government departments, Forest, Transport and Education, UGC Staff College, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington and Jain University. He has conducted many sessions on air pollution mitigation at different institutions throughout Karnataka as part of Transport Department's Clean Air campaign for 5 years starting from 1995 to 2000. In the year 2000, he has led a delegation of Karnataka State Transport Department officials to Thailand and Singapore as part of the Air Care program. He has scripted and directed many documentaries, corporate films and thematic educational films for Doordarshan. He contributes articles on nature conservation and wildlife to many leading newspapers and magazines. He is a keen wildlife enthusiast, amateur naturalist, photographer and adventure enthusiast involved in trekking, climbing, rappelling, river rafting and many more activities. He has travelled widely in India and abroad. He is the recipient of the Best Trainer and Humor Awards. Professor K. Raghuttama Rao is presently the Chairman, Sikh Foundation, Bengaluru. I now request you, sir, to please address the gathering. Topic, Youth, the Future of India.
Yeah. My pranams to the Holy Trio. Kindly follow this. I assure you, once you go out of this excellent ambience, nothing will have changed. Everything will remain the same, even though you keep your mobile switched off for a few hours. Nothing will change. Don't worry. I assure you that. I promise you that. It has to start with self, friends. Whatever you talk today, whatever you listen to, unless you translate them into action, nothing is possible. We share our thoughts, we share our experiences with you. You all applaud, you go back, and everything remains the same, nothing changes. Friends, you must resolve that you will change for the better. Friends, I have a dream, as I was telling you, because I know that the future of this country belongs to you, the youth. It is only India which has about 50 to 55% of the population in youth. And no other country in the world can boast of this, friends. This is a fact, and all of you must be proud of this fact, that you are in this country and you can make a wonderful change if you decide to change positively. I must share one of my experiences with you, friends. I see a lot of white coats, medics and paramedics. I'm sure you will appreciate, I really appreciate. This comes from my heart because I was a witness to this episode. I was in Kenya and Tanzania a decade ago on an assignment, and I was staying in one of the largest in Masai Mara, known for the wildlife. Masai is a tribal group, and Mara is the place, and they call it as the Masai Mara, one of the very famous bio hotspots in the world. And when we checked into the hotel, the lady who was in the front office stood up. We were 3 in the delegation. She offered a rose to all 3 of us and said, "Namaste." I was so happy. An African lady offering us flowers and saying "Namaste." I was really very happy. And I asked her, "You say Namaste?" Friends, you know what she told me? "Sir, I don't know where you come from." I said, "We come from Bangalore, Karnataka in India." She said, "I know Bangalore very much." I asked her, "Were you there?" She said, "Friends, I had heart ailment and no doctors in Africa could treat. I had to come to Narayana Hrudalaya in Bangalore, and the doctors treated me. And today if I am sitting here, it is because of Indian doctors." Friends, whenever I share this, I become emotional. This is the India that I want to see. You are the future of this country, and you must decide. If you decide, friends, I'm sure nothing stops us. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible, if you can read it slightly with a small change, it says, I am possible. I am possible. It's not impossible, I am possible. And each one of you must say this and say, I am possible. I will do it. I can change this. Swamiji was also telling you about the purpose of education, friends. I need to share some of my thoughts before I dwell on my topic, youth, the future of India. Friends, when we talk of purpose of education, I don't know how many of you have heard of a great name by name T.P. Kailasam. T.P. Kailasam was a genius. He knew many foreign languages. His mother tongue was Tamil. He wrote in Kannada. He had mastery over English. I am told even Britishers used to feel jittery to talk in English in his presence. That was the command he had over English. And that is what we must aim at. Kailasam has written a play in English called The Purpose. The Purpose is a small drama about Ekalavya and Arjuna. He compares the two characters, Ekalavya and Arjuna. You know, Arjuna was number 1 in archery. He compares and says, who is better? Is it Ekalavya or Arjuna? Everyone would say Arjuna, but T.P. Kailasam in his Purpose says, no, it is Ekalavya because of the difference in their purpose of education. He says, Arjuna was selfish. He had that aham, bloated I-ness of highness. I want to become number 1 in archery, and Dronacharya would have promised him that I will make you number 1. That, highness of I-ness. Whereas Ekalavya, his only purpose of learning archery was to protect the cattle head of his community. I want to protect all animals of my community, cows and buffaloes and oxen, so whatever they were, the cattle and the livestock that his community had. Now Kailasam compares between the two and says, whose purpose was better, perhaps the best? And he says, it was Ekalavya's purpose. The purpose was not selfish. He had nothing to say, I. He only had to say, we, the community. Friends, if we can move from that I to we, Indians cannot be stopped by anyone. I tell you this. I have faith in you. I have full trust in you. You will make a wonderful India. If you can take a slight change in your attitude. That I should go and we should come in. Instead of saying I did it, if we can say we did it, India has a great future. I had the privilege of working with a Japanese team of engineers. I had about 10 days of interaction with them. And when they were to leave India, I asked the leader of the delegation, the Japanese engineer, I asked him a very simple question. You have worked with Indian engineers. How do you rate our engineers? Friends, I am very proud to tell you, at the same time, it also hurts me. 2 things. You know what he said? I repeat the words in his language. He said, Indian engineers, great. Indian engineers, great. I was so happy. I was sitting on Mount Everest. You know then what he said? Very next, he said, but. I asked him, what but? He said, in India, you discuss who is wrong, who is right. In Japan, we discuss what is right, what is wrong. Individual is not discussed. In India, unfortunately, we are ready for blame game. Something goes wrong, sir, he did this, sir. I would never accept the responsibility. Swamiji was telling you about responsibility. Remember this. Don't indulge in blame game. You are responsible and we must collectively take the responsibility, and that is what is teamwork. In fact, friends, one of the surveys which was conducted globally says Israelis and Indians are very intelligent. Israelis and then Indians. We are very great. But unfortunately, we need to make a small shift in our attitude from negative to positive. We are very intelligent, no doubt about it. But a slight tuning, fine tuning is necessary. I share one of my experience as a teacher. I was teaching in a college. All of you know, during the exams, in the examination hall, we are invigilators. I doubted a particular student. I went out of the room and I was peeping through a small gap in the window. He suddenly took out some piece of paper and put it in the answer booklet. I came inside, caught hold of him, took the booklet. There was a very small slip, friends. LP, HP, RP, LP, something written in a sharp pencil. I matched it with the question paper, nothing relevant to the questions. Then I asked that boy, you honestly tell me, what is this slip? I will let go. Otherwise, I will complain and you will be debarred for 3 years. The boy was crying. And he told me, sir, please excuse me, sir, I will not repeat. I said, I will excuse you, provided you tell me honestly, what is this chit? The boy tells me, sir, this is an index for the answers that he has kept in different pockets. Left pocket, left hip pocket, right hip pocket. Throughout the body, he has all answers. And if he pulls out a chit wrongly, then he can't see, place it back, he will not have time, because as an invigilator I will be watching. So he has an index for the answer sheets that he has. Friends, honestly tell me, is the boy not intelligent? Honestly, yes, very intelligent, but unfortunately negative. We are known for it. So friends, today you must resolve that you will not indulge in anything which is negative. Swami Vivekananda says, anything that weakens you must be rejected as poison. That is a poison which weakens you. Strength is life, weakness is death. Remember this. I must become strong by my attitude, by my character. No one should point at me for mistakes. Unwillingly I do something and you correct, I must accept it wholeheartedly, correct myself. That must be our attitude. Let us not become negative. So essentially, friends, the purpose of education, as Swamiji was telling you, used to have what is called paraspara bhavana. Friends, as a naturalist, an amateur naturalist, I always tell youngsters like you, please go to the nature, observe them, study them. You will have wonderful lessons that they teach you. Wonderful lessons. This paraspara bhavana, as Swamiji was telling you about the agricultural field and the farmer who was sharing the seeds with the neighboring farmers. You see that in nature. It is well built in all of us. We are part of this nature. Unfortunately, we don't learn that. We don't accept it. We don't imbibe. We don't practice. Proverbially, friends, in Africa, there is one species of crocodile called the Nile crocodile. It is very ferocious. I have seen in some parts of Africa, most of the women will have lost one of their wrists. When they go to fetch water, the crocodile will catch the hand and devour. So the hand is cut. But yet, they continue to go. They are not afraid. They have to. They say, survival, we must go. That crocodile, which is very ferocious, when it keeps its mouth open, friends, a small bird, a very small bird called plover, enters the mouth of the crocodile. I want you to visualize this. Very ferocious crocodile, keeping the mouth open, and this little bird enters the mouth of the crocodile to clean the teeth. The bird will take the small pieces of flesh that is stuck between the teeth of the crocodile. It is cleaning the teeth of the crocodile. Crocodile very well knows that it has come to help me, it will not close the mouth. If it is like human beings, it would have done that. But it is above that, It doesn't. It keeps the mouth open and says, I know, you are here to clean my teeth. You are like a dentist. You are cleaning my teeth. I will not harm you. You clean. For cleaning, you must get something, Take those pieces of meat. That is what is called symbiosis, as you have studied in science. In practice, you see them. And today, friends, in the field of management, people talk about an African term, Ubuntu. Ubuntu in African terminology very simply means what we say, Paraspar Bhavana. It says, I am because you are. I am existing because you are here. Today, for instance, take this example. I am talking because of you. You are all sitting here and listening to me. I hope you are listening. Are you? Thank you. So if you are listening to me, I am here. Otherwise, what do I do here, standing? I have no role if you don't sit here. So it is what is called interdependency. We are not independent in the strictest sense. We are all interdependents. So that is what is very important. That must be our attitude. The purpose of education. Friends, there is a wonderful saying, a psychologist says this. The heart of education lies in educating the hearts. I want you to understand this. Remember this for your life. It is not for this session. It is not for your exams. Generally, what you study for exams are forgotten. After the exams, it's gone. In Kannada, people would say, how was the question paper? Tumba easy ittu sir. Bardu bittu bande. Mugitu, allige. And we are interested in degrees, We are interested in marks on one hand, degrees on the other. Another great humorist by name Beachy once told me, I had the fortune of receiving my second degree from him. Since I knew him, he said, Tama, Eradne degree bantanta jump padbeda. Don't be proud that you are getting second degree. A thermometer will have 110 degrees. So what is the use of your second degree? Do not study for the sake of degrees. Do not study for the sake of marks. Your marks card and certificates, they are like your passport and visa. It can take you to your destination, that's all. Beyond that, it is your capacity. Friends, remember this. It is what you have in you would make all the difference. You are not not your certificate or degrees. It will take you for an interview, yes. It will take you for further examination, yes. But your performance depends on what you have inside, and that is most important. And that is why I say, if you really want to see a glorious India, you are the future, please remember, you must decide that you will be the force to reckon with. You are the future of this country, and you will have the future in this future. Remember that. You are not excluded. You are part of the system. If India becomes great because of you, you are also great. And what is this country without people? Nothing. No organization, friends, can survive without people. You are the resource. The greatest advantage for this country, our country, the Bharata, is the good number of youth, and youth as the greatest human resource. We talk of all resources. But remember, you are the greatest resource for this country. In order to do this, in order to realize this dream of becoming the best country in the world, not in just the terms of your wealth, in terms of offering to this world, in terms of making the entire world live in peace. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that was the concept, that is the concept our elders dreamt of, and you must realize that. You have that potential, realize that potential. So friends, I have a few requests. I don't say suggestion because, people say suggestion is like castor oil, very easy to give and very difficult to take. I am not here to suggest, I am only requesting all of you. Please remember, if you must have a wonderful future, and if this country must have that wonderful future because of you, you must make some small changes. And today resolve that you will change for the better, so that the country will certainly change and will become one of the greatest countries in the world. I don't say very powerful in terms of the military strength or whatever it is, But in terms of spirituality, in terms of offering the best to the world, that must be the dream. So what should we do? Friends, the change begins with the self. For everything, we must always look at ourselves. Instead of blaming somebody, let me look at myself. That is very important. So certain changes that we must make. What are the changes? Friends, first of all, you think yourself as a wonderful person who is going to contribute for the future of this great country. Certain changes. First of all, you must learn to manage yourselves. Swamiji has talked about self-discipline. I will not elaborate on that. What changes should we bring in? Self-management, friends. Remember, it starts with the self. Each one of us must tell ourselves that, yes, I am ready for change. Change for the better. Change positively. What should I do? Number one, please mind your thoughts. Mind your words. Mind your actions. Mind your habits, which will become your character. Your thoughts become your words will become your action will become your habit, and your habit will become your character. In order to have wonderful character, I must always be very cautious about all this. It is said, when you are alone, mind your thoughts. That is the time when you get a lot of negative thoughts, when you are alone. Idle mind is devil's workshop. So when you are alone, mind your thoughts. When you are with people, mind your words. You must be very careful. I will come to that a little later. So friends, your thoughts must be clean. That is what Swami Vivekananda says. Your thoughts must be so clean that you can always think of doing something great. Fill good thoughts with you. Always positive thoughts. Think of positive people. Anything that you want to think of, think positively. Do not entertain anything negative. And your words, friends, of late, youngsters, I have a request to all of you. You think copying Western culture is showing that you are modern. Is not correct. I don't mean that you should not follow Westerners. Swami Vivekananda himself says, you must learn the art of organization from the West. You must learn the discipline and their ability to manufacture, their technology. Nothing wrong. Let us take the best. But let us not take everything from the West and say, that is the best for me. You know, words, I have seen a lot of youngsters who pick up a lot of slang because of your internet language. Lot of abbreviations. ASAP. You know, I received one letter, I did not understand when they had said ASAP. I asked one of my students, what is this? He said, sir, don't you know this? I said, I don't know, that's why I'm asking you. Sir, as soon as possible, sir. My good God. For everything abbreviation. And you know, I'm sorry to say this, you pick up a lot of such slang because you find that in the internet. Whatever that is there, you think that is the right. We don't understand. You know, mother becomes first mummy and then short form. Now, ma'am, mom, and I don't know when that OM will go. Only M will remain. And daddy has become dad. I don't know when that D will be replaced with B. So, don't pick up. Friends, I request all of you because your language shows your culture. I come from a school which was started by John Taylor, who founded the Kolar Goldfields, KGF. The gold mine was founded by him, and the school is called KGF School. I had a lot of Anglo-Indians and Europeans as my classmates. And for anything which they don't like, they would say bloody. I asked my bloody dad. Dad becomes bloody dad. You know what is bloody in English? Bloody is anything which is full of blood, blood-stained. You kill somebody with a knife, the knife is blood-stained, full of blood, that is called bloody knife. Your father cannot become bloody dad. But they use it so easily and everyone picks it up. Don't do this. So friends, mind your language. And I see a lot of white coats. I'm very happy. Medics and paramedics, most of you, and from different streams. I'm told, there are homeopathy and Ayurveda, allopathy systems of medicine. I'm very happy. That's a wonderful mix. Friends, if all the systems can work in tandem, picking the best from every system, you will find a solution to the health problems of this country in future. That is why I say you are the future. Whether it is allopathy or homeopathy or Ayurveda or Unani, whatever it is, take the best. In fact, I go to homeopathy only. My doctor, Dr. N. Madan, who practices in Bangalore, is a very famous homeopathy physician. And today, if I am standing before you, that is because of him. I was not well for the last 2 months. I am standing before you, talking to you. That is why, we say, Vaidya Narayano Harihi. Next only to God, or all of you, not only medics, even paramedics. You are all, COVID warriors. And the entire nation bows in front of you. And that must be the quality of good doctors and paramedics. You must always have service in mind. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitayacha. For my salvation and for the good of the society. Any system, take the best from all the systems and think of alternative medicine. Don't say, my system is the best. No. World Health Organization says, for bone-related issues, Ayurveda is the best. Yes, that's our system of medicine. Why shouldn't we take this, develop further, research? And friends, I have a request with all of you. When you talk about research, the other systems, in the other streams, in the other disciplines, research means taking few books, cut and paste, you have PhD. In fact, in Telugu they say, Teesedi, Yesedi, thesis. Take from here, put it here, you earn your PhD. That PhD has no value. Something that you do in order to help people, in order to help the society, in order to help our rural population. That is why I say Ayurveda and homeopathy are inexpensive and wonderful systems of medicine with the help of allopathy, and allopathy with the help of these. Can we not work in tandem? That must be our priority. If this country must live healthy, if the country must have a future, great future because of you, think on these lines. Research for the sake of research. Once again, research for the sake of a degree, PhD, because it gives me 2 increments in my salary, will not help us. So please think about it, and that is what is very important. So that's why I say, mind your language, culture. And as doctors, would-be doctors perhaps, and would-be paramedics, I tell you how communication plays a very important role in healing your patients. Live alone the medicine that you give. Because, we say most of the diseases are psychosomatic. Partially related to body, partially related to the psyche, soma and the psyche. So sometimes your positive talk to a patient itself will help. And placebo. As would be doctors and paramedics, you know what placebo is. I need not elaborate. It may be anything that you give. I have full confidence in you, I take that medicine, I'm cured. That is what is very important. That confidence building, that must be your objective. I share one of my experiences with you to tell you how communication plays a very important role in your career, in your future, because you are the future of this country. My friend, my colleague, used to be bubbling with enthusiasm. A man who would always bring in joy, happiness. But suddenly we noticed that he started withdrawing into the shell. He started avoiding us. And one day, me and my friend, we took him to a hotel over a cup of coffee. I asked him, tell me, what's the problem? Friends, he broke down. He started crying like a child. I told my friend, hello, let him vent out. He cried for a few minutes, and after that he was composed, and I asked him, tell me, what's the problem? Let us find a solution to it. He said, I have a serious heart ailment, and the doctor has told me that I can live maximum for about 6 months. The doctor has plainly, honestly told him, your life is 6 months, so be prepared and do whatever you can. He was just 36 years old. He had 2 daughters who were still in school. Imagine the plight of the man. The doctor tells him 6 months, 2 young daughters, young wife. He was broken. Then I told him, don't worry, we will take second opinion. My friend's uncle, a cardiologist, unfortunately he's no more. I spoke to him. I said, sir, this is the problem. I bring him to you. Please help us. He said, bring him. All examination, ECG, ECO, everything was done. With the reports we went. He looked at the reports, threw all the reports on the table, and with a bang on the table he said, who is that doctor who told you 6 months? I will give you a lifelong guarantee, but you must take medicine regularly. I could see a spark in his eyes for the first time after a long time. He was very happy. After that we came out, he took us to a hotel and, treated us with sweet, kara, coffee, everything. And then after that I spoke to the doctor. I said, doctor, the first doctor had said 6 months. Now you tell him that you are giving him lifelong guarantee. What is this? He said, I can't even tell you 6 months. He may live for 6 weeks. His heart is in a very bad shape. But I only told him lifelong guarantee. What is lifelong guarantee? As long as you live. Lifelong is not 80 years, 100 years, no. As long as you live, I will give you guarantee that anyone will give you. But the way in which he put it across, I want you to understand that, it's not merely saying 6 months. Lifelong guarantee. Friends, I tell you, that man is still alive. Both his daughters are married. He has now become a tata. He has 3 grandchildren. He is still alive. So it's not what I say. It's how I say that. How I put it across. How I earn that faith in my patients. My patients must have that confidence in me, that faith, total faith. I will go to the doctor, I will be all right. I must tell you, there was an Ayurveda Pandit in a village, and a lot of people, surrounding villages used to come to him and talk about what is called Hastaguna. Hastaguna is, if the doctor gives, his hand has that healing power, Hastaguna. One day, a man came with his daughter, and she was carrying, maybe 5th month. She had morning sickness, vomiting, and that man said, my daughter is vomiting, I can't see that. Doctor, please give some medicine. The doctor thought for a while, Pandita, Ayurvedic Pandita. Thought for a while. He has come all the way from another village, having faith in me. Now it's very easy for me to tell him there is no medicine for this, don't worry, it will get cured automatically. But that man has come to me with full faith. But unfortunately, it was a Sunday, his clinic was closed, and it was summer, very hot. He went inside, brought 3 small tablets in a small piece of paper, gave it to him and said, give 1 tablet in lemon juice as soon as you go back home, then 1 in the evening, and 1 tomorrow morning. Don't give in the night, because she may catch cold, because I am asking you to give that in the lime juice. The man went away with his daughter and the medicine. After a week, the man came with a bullock cart full of fruits and vegetables and grains and whatnot, 1 whole cart full. He gave it to this Pandit and said, Panditji, I don't know what you gave, that was like a Ramabana. I gave her only 1 pill and her problem got solved. What is the name of that pill? The Pandit says, the name of the pill is Malina Manjari. Malina Manjari, then he writes about it. He writes, I went inside, there was no medicine to give. It was very sultry, summer afternoon, very sultry. So he just rubbed his back of the neck and he got that, a small blackish powder, the dust which was collected, which was mixed with the sweat. He collected it, made 3 small pills, gave it to him and called it Malina Manjari. But it cured the patient. That is because of the faith that the man had and that woman had in the doctor. So remember that faith works. So you will have to earn that faith, the trust. That is very important for doctors. Coming to your actions, friends, please remember, every action of yours will shape your habits, and your habits will shape your character. And ultimately, you are respected not because of the money that you earn, not because of the status that you have, because of the character that you possess. Charitrya, as we say, Sheela, as we say, that is most important. So if you can have this, you will certainly become the best citizens of this country, and the future of this country will be in safe hands, and we need not worry. And you will certainly see a day when India, the Bharata, will be helping all other countries in all aspects. That is what is the future that you must dream of. It is not simply dreaming. As Abdul Kalam says, if you dream, it may become a daydream. He says, the dreams such good dreams, it should be such good dreams, it should not let you sleep. You must constantly think about it. Translate that into action. That is fundamentally essential. And friends, don't become highly materialistic in your life. If you become highly materialistic, you are always worried about money. You are always worried about money and you don't even know how to earn money. I have nothing against people making money. You must make money. Make money legally, ethically. Follow what is called dharma. That is very essential. You should be ethical. You should follow the dharma. And practice. You must constantly practice. That is why, for doctors, engineers and advocates, we say practice. You must keep on practicing. Why white coat? In karate, for beginners, they give white belt. Like me, I am an odd man out among all the Swamijis. I am the only one having white. I am a practitioner. I am still practicing, still learning. All of you must keep learning like that. There is nothing which says, I have learned everything. No learned man. You must constantly learn. And your field, medicine in particular, demands constant practice and updating. You must update yourselves, otherwise you are outdated. In a village, there was drought for about 3-4 years continuously, no rains. And there was one small patch of cloud, one small patch. It looked at a man, an old farmer, who was plowing his field with the plow very difficultly. It was very difficult for him because it was very hard, no rains in the last 4 or 5 years, but still he was trying to plow. And this little cloud laughed at him and said, "Hey, idiot, don't you know that there is drought for the last 4 or 5 years and no rains, and you are still plowing? No hope of rains. I am only a small patch of cloud." The farmer says, "Yes, my dear friend, I know. We had drought for the last 4 or 5 years continuously, and there are no signs of rains. But I can't stop, because that is the only profession I know. I must keep plowing. I must practice. And if suddenly rains, what do? I will have forgotten my trade. So I must keep plowing, practice. Even though it is very difficult, I must do it. If it rains, I will have to do it." Suddenly the cloud realizes, he is not a fool, I am a fool. Then it would go and bring all his friends and relatives and say, "Look, there is a man, a wise man who says, I must keep practicing, whatever may be the difficulty, I practice, so we must help him." So he gathers all the clouds and pours in the form of rain. So we must continuously practice. Come what may, whatever may be the difficulties that we face, please practice. And essentially, friends, in order to realize the dream of being the best in future, because the future belongs to you, you are the future, please develop your self-esteem. Ultimately, as I was telling you earlier, what decides is what you have in you, not other things. What is this self-esteem? Simply, there are 3 principles. Please remember them, practice them. Number 1, the self-worth. You must know your worth. All of you are worthy, you are capable. You are the children of God. You have that potential. Swami Vivekananda says, potentially every soul is divine. You have the divinity in you, express the divinity. Believe in yourselves. Know your strengths first. Then know your weakness and correct, so that your strength will further increase. So know your self-worth. Then self-respect, friends. Do not commit anything, do anything at the cost of self-respect. Ultimately, we stand for our respect. Atma Gaurava. If you lose your self-respect, you are a big zero. Remember this. And the third one, most important for all of us, is self-evaluation. What is that self-evaluation? I must correct myself every day. That is why Swami says, you must talk to yourselves every day for at least 5 minutes. Otherwise, you will lose out meeting a very important person in your life, and that's you. We talk with so many people, we hardly talk with ourselves. Please practice this. I have a request. I want you to practice this from today. Friends, if you really believe that you can change this country for better and you are the future, please practice this from today. What you must do is, before you hit the bed, sit comfortably in any posture. Sit closing your eyes, visualize what happened in your life on the day, today, from morning, the time you got up, till the time now that you are preparing to hit the bed. Just visualize, close your eyes and visualize. For every good that you have done, pat your back and say, "Well done, keep it up." Say that loudly. For every mistake that you have committed, tell yourselves, "I am sorry, sincerely I am sorry, I will not repeat." But one request further, before you do this, tell your parents at home or other guardians that you are doing an exercise. Otherwise, they will panic. Suddenly they will see you patting your back and saying, "Well done, keep it up." They may be afraid, they may call an ambulance. But friends, please do it sincerely. You have a wonderful opportunity to correct. And listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice is the greatest teacher the greatest guide, the greatest motivator, listen to that. Most of the times, I tell you, for example, you are sitting here, I had told all of you, please switch off your mobiles, and you are tempted because of your habit, force of habit. You are tempted, you take out. Your mind would tell you, your inner voice will tell you, hey, don't do that. He has already told you not to switch on. But you say, hey, keep quiet, idiot. Who are you to tell me? And switch it on. Am I right? Don't do that. Your mind must be under your control. You must be the boss. Don't allow that to control you. And all your gadgets, like mobiles, your smartphones, you have made your smartphone, rather a phone, very smart, and you have not become smart. Don't say my phone is smart, say I am smart. And when I say this, friends, this self-esteem, what is the byproduct? Byproduct is confidence. If you have your esteem in good shape, you are confident. Please remember, you must always know the slender line which demarcates confidence and overconfidence. Know that limit. You must be confident, don't become overconfident. What is confidence? Kailasam, TP Kailasam I was referring to. Even when I was a student, we used to have 8 questions. And they would say, answer any 5, each question carries 20 marks. Any 5 out of 8. Kailasam used to answer all 8 and write in bold, capitals. Evaluate any 5. I have written answers for all the 8 questions. You value any 5 of your choice. That is confidence. We must have that confidence. If you are confident, you face the world. What should you be afraid of? So remember, your confidence will further make you more strong. That is what Swamiji says, don't have fear, be bold. What is fear? Friends, fear is, most of the time, it is perceived. It is perceived. You believe somebody telling you something happening about 10 years ago or something like that, is still in your mind. Perceived fear. It may not come true. There are 2 explanations for fear. F-E-A-R. It says, the negative aspect of that is, forget everything and run. You run away from the problems. That will not help. On the other hand, face everything and rise. That will make you a wonderful person, a confident person. Friends, finally, I must request all of you, please, from today, you promise yourselves that you will do this in order to have a wonderful future for yourselves and for the country. Number 1, please talk without cell phones. Forget your cell phones. Talk to your people without cell phones. Number 1. Enjoy without alcohol. Enjoyment is not always associated, it should not be associated with alcohol. Dream without drugs. All of us are capable of dreaming. Let us dream positively without drugs. And friends, let us love without conditions. When I say love, I don't mean your cinema language. Love is, motherly love. It is something which is divine, and that is very important. Unfortunately, our youngsters have picked up certain wrong connotations when we talk of love. In fact, I have heard people saying, sir, love is blind. Somebody loves somebody and they would say love is blind without knowing the true meaning. Friends, do you know? We use this expression, love is blind, because we associate this to motherly love, And why it is called love is blind is the mother starts loving the baby much before she has seen the baby. The baby is in the womb. She doesn't know about the gender of the baby. She doesn't know about the complexion of the baby. She doesn't know anything about the baby, but she starts loving it. And that is why we say love is blind, not in your cinematic language. Forget about it. And people also tell me, sir, he fell in love. I tell them, if you love, why should you fall? If you love, you must rise in love. Don't fall in love. That is not our culture. We don't make you fall. We should not fall. You should rise. So remember this. And finally, friends, whenever you think of all this, please keep on correcting yourselves, shaping yourselves, think of the character, and only one goal that you must have is to enrich your knowledge. And somebody asked a youngster, what will you ask if God appears before you? What will you ask if God appears before you? And the boy said, sir, I will ask for ask. I will ask for ask. He said, what do you mean? I said, what do you ask if the God appears before you? He said, I will ask for ask. What is that ask? He said, I want you to remember, A stands for attitude, S stands for skill, and K stands for knowledge. If you have positive attitude, if you have very sharp skills and wonderful positive knowledge, what stops you? That is what you must aim for. That must be your dream, and that you must realize. Keep on improving your attitude, your skills, your knowledge. Knowing is knowledge, doing is wisdom. So let us translate that. Our ancestors have said, Ichha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. First of all, I must desire to be the best. Once you desire and dream of being the best, you must equip yourselves. So knowledge, the skill, translate them into action. You will become wonderful youth of this country. And I see all of you as the bright, shining stars of this great country called Bharata. Bharata, friends, Bha is knowledge. And Ratha is where people seek knowledge. So any place where you have people who are seeking knowledge is called Bharata, and this is Bharata, which means you are all seeking knowledge, you are all seeking that skill and that attitude. It will certainly be with you, and I wish you all the best. I pray God to give you all these three, your attitude, the skill and the knowledge, and make you the wonderful citizens of this great country, and decide to become number one. Don't unnecessarily think of other things and dilute your goal. The goal supreme must be to see that this country becomes the great Bharata. Thank you very much for staying with me so patiently. Sri Ramakrishna.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the insightful thoughts on the lines of having a conviction within us that if we wish to change positively, we can change. For telling us the reason behind Paraspara Bhavam, and that by combining these together with self-reflection, how we, the youth, can build a better India. On behalf of the Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama Belagavi, the delegates and the students, I thank you, sir, for addressing us.
Our next speaker for today is Reverend Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj. Inspired by the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda during his school days, Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj joined the Ramakrishna order in 1984 at Bangalore and was initiated into monastic vows in 1993. After initial training, he served the mission in Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam and Chennai between 1989 and 2010 and was involved in various youth activities during that period. Swamiji has so far conducted 800 workshops and seminars covering about 3 lakh students, teachers, managers and others on human excellence, management and personality development in schools, colleges and many corporates in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, Maharashtra, New Delhi and few other places in India during this last decade. He has also addressed scientists at Abdul Kalam Research Center, Imarat, ISRO, advocates of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana High Court, executives of BHEL, HAL and BDL. Swamiji has also authored a book titled Mind and Modern Problems. At the Ramakrishna Mutt, Hyderabad, Swamiji has taken an initiative to encourage, recognize and appreciate the leadership qualities amongst the youth by organizing a youth movement called Swami Vivekananda Yuva Jagrati Vedika. Swamiji's discussions and talks on personality development and the message of Swami Vivekananda are telecast in HMTV, ETV Live channels and TV5 Telugu channels for the benefit of the youth. I now request Reverend Swamiji to throw light on today's topic, prescription for achieving human excellence.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित् सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। My pranams to Most Revered Nityasthanandaji Maharaj, Adhyaksha of Ramakrishna Mutt, Bengaluru. My namaskars and greetings to Swami Atma Pranandaji, Secretary of Belagavi Center. My namaskars to all other brother monks. And a very good afternoon to all my young friends. Please don't worry, I will not take more time. Because I know where your mind is. It is on Madhya Pradesh. And if Madhya Pradesh is crying, Uttar Pradesh, which has finished its election, will sleep. And when you doctors and paramedics sleep, it will be operation successful, patient dead. We are all in ICU now. This is like a ICU. Be careful. And you have come maybe first time or second time or whatever to this pranganam, to this wonderful spiritually charged atmosphere where Vivekananda stayed here physically for 9 days in that small room there. And Belagavi students and parents and teachers and public should be fortunate enough to make this a Tirtha Kshetra as much as any other Tirtha Kshetra in the country. Wherever Swami Vivekananda went, it has become a Tirtha Kshetra. He is Shiva himself. So don't take it just as a 3-hour program. Don't take it just because your college has sent you for attendance sake. Because that is the common disease in the country. Attendance means we go. Certificate means more people will come. This is problem in Hyderabad also. So for that we have got vaccine, not for corona, but for your mind. We talk about recycling plastic, recycling garbage, recycling paper. So many recyclings are there, multi-purpose. But there are hardly any people talking about recycling your own mind. So the purpose of this youth convention, 3 hours, is for recycling the mind, purifying the mind, filling it with positive, powerful ideas. Today we go 1 step forward and 3 steps backward. Or how do you define, how do you explain a doctor committing suicide in India, injecting himself or herself with poison? Because of frustration? Because of lack of confidence? A final year medical student commits suicide. See the condition in our country today, where the Buddhas, the Gandhis, the Vivekanandas, the Akkamahadevis and the Basavannas have given their landmark, given their footprint. Our young boys and girls commit suicide for small problems. Is our life so cheap, so weak, that a small incident can trigger off a destructive attitude? We don't think about it. That is why in the first talk, Reverend Nityasthanji was pointing it out about object, where Swami Vivekananda said, from childhood upwards, our training is external mechanism. As a result, we have lost the power of internal mechanism. He can be a doctor, or a tailor, an engineer, a lawyer, a chartered accountant, anybody. Externally we are very good. Internally we are zero. No strength. Shock absorber is not there. That is why these programs are very, very important, and studying about Swami Vivekananda is very important. 12th January, Vivekananda is glorified from Rashtrapati Bhavan till your colleges. But 13th January, we tell you be there, I will be here. Goodbye to Vivekananda. Next 12th January, let us see. How many years did Vivekananda live? Not 50, 60, 80 or 100. Just 39 years, 5 months and 25 days. Can you think about it? Yochane ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. A man who said, I will not live to see 40. And he proved it. 39 years, 5 months, 25 days, over. He has left the body and gone. And within that, he has come all the way from Kashmir to Belagavi to Kanyakumari. Staying in this very building, which is a powerful laboratory of spiritual strength. Utilize it every day, or at least on a Sunday. My dear friends, when somebody asks, Swamiji, only 39 years, you want to go away even before 40? He said, I have done enough for 1,500 years. 15 centuries I have done work, you do one year, let me see. Look at the massive power that he generated within that 9-year period. My dear friends, please remember, Vivekananda started his work when he was just 30, 1893, September 11th, actual work started in Chicago. Just 8.5 years. 8.5 years time, Swamiji writes nearly 700 letters from America to India, from India to America, from Belagavi to Hyderabad, everywhere he is writing in that ink, that feather pen, not the fountain ink or emails. How many letters we write? As he said, all in short forms. What is the purpose of writing a letter? Swamiji is awakening the consciousness of India, awakening the power in the youth of India. My dear friends, till 18 years, till he was 18, 18, your age, college age, first year, second year, BA, he is one of the many students in Kolkata. But the transformation comes after his father's death. 1881, when he's 1863 he is born. 1881, he meets the future spiritual university called Sri Ramakrishna. And this Ramakrishna did not even go beyond 3rd standard. And here is a brilliant young boy of Calcutta University, Scottish Church College, whose professors gave certificate to Vivekananda. Vivekananda's English and power of mind is all the professors put together. Such a person is coming and sitting at the feet of this man who did not even go to high school. And today people get PhDs in Sri Ramakrishna's name. Books are written in Sri Ramakrishna's name. And you have come to this premises of the Ramakrishna mission in Belagavi. And my dear friends, Swamiji said, my faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers and they will solve the problems like lions. And this year is very, very important for all of you. For the youth of India, for Ramakrishna mission, for all of us in the whole nation. One is, 2 celebrations are going on, which I wish all of you would participate in the future, from today onwards. Number 1, Vivekananda's lectures in India for Indians, 125 years old. From Colombo in Sri Lanka to Almora in the Himalayas. 25 lectures which he gave within 3 months. That was the turning point in India's freedom movement. Everybody should read that book called Lectures from Colombo to Almora, translated into every language in the country. If that book is too heavy for you because of your exams and syllabus, take that book, My India, the India Eternal. It's a condensed book of Colombo to Almora. India's past, India's present, India's glory. It will make you the excellent doctor that you could ever dream of, wherever you are. My dear friends, and another important event is, from May 1st, Vivekananda started the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, a sannyasi starting an organization. Can you think of it? He is not Tata, Birla or Congress Party president or BJP president. At that time, British Raj. We were slaves, but this monk, what a daredevil, what Shiva personality. He starts a Sangha, Ramakrishna Mission in the name of his Guru on May 1st, 125-year-old celebration. These two are very, very important, and the government of India is observing what? Azadi Ka Amrita Mahotsav. And what is this Amrita Mahotsav? It is based on Swami Vivekananda's vision and mission. I am giving you stories, I am not giving you philosophy, because this is not the time, lunchtime is not for philosophy. 1897, 125 years ago, Swami Vivekananda is staying in Madras, today Chennai. 9 days he stayed there at that house also, Vivekananda House, on the beach road. There is a story that some young boys from the Madras University met Swami Vivekananda and asked him, you are so powerful, you are so great, you are so heroic, you are Vishwa Vijeta. See, please understand the situation in which Swami Vivekananda walked and worked and lived. It is not today's India. Everywhere harassment, everywhere ruling us and killing us and torturing us from Bangladesh to Kanyakumari. British Raj, colony of Queen Victoria. Wow, that lady is sitting there in London and says this is one colony, like a district. She was ruling this country without any mercy. Blood boils when I hear that word colony, where Mahadeva Shiva lives and Basavanna lives. We called a colony. Swamiji was so unhappy that we have lost our Shraddha, lost our own dignity. We are criticizing our own mother. My dear friends, these boys go and ask Vivekananda, can't you get us freedom? Good question, is it not? 1897. Can't you get us freedom? Straight comes a Vivekananda's answer without any hesitation, because he was boiling with that love of India. He said, I can give you freedom tomorrow. They were so happy. the next question, they were clean bold. He said, I will give you freedom tomorrow, but where are the men to preserve that freedom? Kaha hai manush, dikhav humko, kal de denge. They bent their heads. Kaha hai manush. Why? You are all manush, is it not? No. For Swami Vivekananda, manush means different meaning. Kshatra viryam and brahma tejas. That is manush. Strength of a soldier and the meditation of a rishi. Combine this, then you are a manush. हिंदी में बोलता है जो मन में खुश है वह मानुष है, नहीं तो ज़ोंबी है, डेड बॉडी वॉकिंग. तुम्हारा अंदर क्या है? Do you have that hush? Do you have the spirit? Do you have that Shakti inside you? Yes, it is there, but covered with so many other fancies. That light is not coming. So the question remained, Kaha hai Manush? And Swamiji was working so fast. He had very less time physically. And this flow of youth conventions organized by this center and many centers in the country is that answer, is the samadhan which we give to Vivekananda. This is one small drop where we train or try to train Manush, men and women of course. In Hyderabad we have the Institute of Human Excellence, the vision and mission of one of the greatest pioneer gurus of the Ramakrishna order by name Swami Ranganathananda. He understood we need Manush, we need human excellence. And what is this human excellence? Not just a good boy or a good girl. Valle huduga, valle vidyarthi. Adalla bekiddu. Shrestha Purushaha, excellent in your life. It's not what you have, it's not what you do in Belagavi or in India, it is what you are in the cities, in the streets, in the villages. You make a difference. In this very Pranganam, if I am not wrong, Abdul Kalam gave a speech called The Unique You. The video is there in the bookstall. The title of the speech of Dr. Kalam, given in Belagavi Ramakrishna Mission, is The Unique You. Each one of you is unique. Need not worry about equality. Need not worry about reservations. You are unique. You make a nation by yourself. That is Swami Vivekananda's music of human excellence. My dear friends, cutting the story short, just imagine, visualize. This sannyasi is meditating in Kanyakumari, December 24, 25, 26, called the Vivekananda rock now, at that time just a barren rock. Did not even have 50 paisa to pay to the boatman to go to that rock. Cold winter, the winds blowing, the Indian Ocean roaring on our side. But here is the pain, the agony that Swami Vivekananda felt. Where are the youth of this country? Sleeping? Polishing the shoes of the British? Can't they serve the motherland? Can they educate few people? And this man who did not have even 50 paisa, today we have got such glorious buildings in his name and we enjoy, as it were. He swam, he jumped into the ocean, which was sharks infested. And he went to that rock and 3 days and 3 nights did not come back. Crying and crying and crying like a child for its mother. Think about it. Feel about it. Study about it. Go home and meditate over it. Then you see the metamorphosis, how a caterpillar can become a butterfly. My dear friends, he did not meditate on God, not on Rama mantra, not on Shiva mantra, not on Krishna mantra. He said, put all other gods aside. Bharata Mata is my God. A sannyasi is talking about it. The glory of India, the sages of India, the Patanjalis, the Sankhyas, the Gautamas and the Dharmashastras. What has happened to that country? So lazy, so tamasic, so agnanam, so selfish. Man over man. He's seeing a video film. And one Kavi in Telugu, one poet in Telugu wrote, the pain that Vivekananda felt, as if 1,000 horses are running on his chest. That was Swamiji's pain. He was disturbed. 1,000 horses. And he is meditating on that. One school teacher went by boat and told Swami, please come back. Says, no, I will come back when my mission is complete. He went with banana, balehannu. Went with little milk. Please take this. Swami said, keep it in that small hole in the rock. If I want, I will take. That means 3 days, 3 nights he is doing only meditation on India. Past of India, present of India, and the future of India. But you know why this youth convention? Why so much of money spent? Vivekananda gave that answer. The past was great, future will be greater, because you and I are the children of that great Mother Bharata Mata. You should feel proud that you are the children of this motherland. Swamiji had a master plan. And my dear friends, now imagine that meditation of Vivekananda at Kanyakumari. Now I will tell within 5 minutes. I want you to imagine, I want you to activate your brain a little, then you can have a good lunch, no problem. You will be given lunch prasadam here. But when you have that lunch prasadam, take it as prasadam, not as a hostel lunch or a hotel lunch. I have seen in one big university, when I went to participate in a day called World Food Day, big seminar being organized, how to conserve food, how to save food, how to produce more food, how to have organic food, how to distribute food, big talks. After the meeting is over, they took me to the college canteen. I found all these students who participated in the seminar out of compulsion, leaving the rice, leaving the sambar, criticizing the food, going and washing their hands. All the canteen is full of rice, people are walking over it. Annapurna Kshetram. And the workers are coming, taking it and putting it into a small small vehicle, throwing it out on the other side of the compound where the dogs and beggars of India are taking this food. And that was called World Food Day. To whom are you talking about? When we don't respect our own food? When the dogs are licking and fighting with the beggars of India, who are also brothers and sisters? This is what Swamiji felt. When you are eating one morsel or throwing one morsel, one spoon, think that millions are starving outside in India. Do we feel that? Channagilla. Arey, nini channagilla. Give it to a cow. It will bless you. Give it to a dog. It will wag its tail and love you. Show its happy face on you. Even if dog is not there, take it in a cover and put it to the soil in the manure. It will become manure, and that manure will give you again rice and good crops. That is Swamiji's prescription. It's not the suit, coat and boot. Just when we are talking at 1:15 and we are worried about hunger, I'll give you the right statistics when it says, in Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh border, where there is a district called Devas, Bundelkhand. Half of the districts of Bundelkhand are in MP, half of are in UP. It's a peculiar geographical situation. UP people will not take care of them. MP people will not take care of them. Because of their address and they say you are in UP. They don't have ration cards. They don't have voter cards. And today, people are, even now in 2022, as on March 11th, every day 50 to 60 young children are dying out of starvation. You imagine your mother is carrying your brother or a sister to the graveyard instead of the school. This is happening in India today. Understanding this situation, one young man in 2003, was IIT Kharagpur gold medalist, IIM Kolkata topper and waiting for a white collar job. After the interviews is over, he read Swami Vivekananda's teachings for the first time in Karma Yoga and said, what is this life for? What is this dress for? If I am not able to give one idli or one chapati or one dosa to a poor man. He started a small group called Parivar in 25 kilometers from Kolkata with 4 orphans. And in these 15 years, he is now taking care every day of 3,000 orphan children who have no address, no mother, no father. He is their mother, he is their father, called Vinayak Lohani. Hats off to that man who is a god. And this Vinayak Lohani goes all the way to Devas in Madhya Pradesh, and he starts 300 Seva Kutirs in the name of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. And what are these Seva Kutirs? These tribal children will come, the starvation children will come, who may die, who may become Naxalites, who may become criminals tomorrow because of their survival instinct. Hot food, fresh food is given to these poorest of poor every day in these 300 Seva Kutirs. And it doesn't stop there. Good education is given, tuition centers are conducted, yoga asanas are taught, meditation is taught, Vivekananda Ramakrishna stories are taught. And he is the father, or he is the friend, he is the guru of nearly 24,000 children every day, Vinayak Lohani. And just yesterday he sent me a message, Swamiji, this is the 80th ambulance that I have started in this district where the government has completely neglected. 80 ambulances, 24/7. Who can do it? One who is feeling from inside Swami Vivekananda's pain. With one Vinayak Lohani, so much of work is going on. How many Vinayak Lohanis can come if Swami Vivekananda blesses you? Off with your personal life. Your life becomes Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. My dear friends, last part is I have deviated from the story. Imagination. Can you do now? Can you try? Yes or no? Prayatna madtira? Prayatna madi? Solpa? Just think it is 4 o'clock in the evening and you have had your good lunch here in the mutt or in the college or wherever, and you have gone back home. 4:30, you have reached your house. Okay? I want you to imagine practicals. Mane olaga hogta idira neevu. And you are very thirsty, you are very hungry, you want to have tea, you want to have biscuits, you want to have some tiffin, and you go to the dining table. And as you go into the dining table, you find a plate full of rice, sambar, curry, or some other items. It is covered. 4:30, 4:45. You are surprised. You are entering into the house. Your brother or sister, they are also away. Your father is away in the house, but somebody has not taken food from afternoon at 4:35. What is your first doubt? It may be your mother. Yes or no? Nem thai irabodalla? Maneli idare nem thai. So you call your mother. Amma, amma, ellidi amma. There's dead silence in your house. But you feel somewhere in the corner your amma is there. But she is not responding to your call. What will happen to you? What will you think? Surprise. Ascharya agattalla? You shout little. Amma, amma, yenamma, elidi amma. Total silence. More shock. Then you go and search one room, second room or whatever. Room is half closed, bedroom, curtain closed. Door is open, dark, no light. You push the door, go inside. You find your mother is sleeping. Rather, just malgidare. She's just resting. You go inside, put on the light. Till the time, imagine your mother is sleeping to the door side. As you enter, my dear friends, your mother has turned the other side. That means her back is towards you. She is not seeing your face. More shock, right? Inna dukha agatre nimage? ಏನು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದೆ ನಾನು? ವೈ ಮೈ ಮದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಂಗ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ? ಯು ಗೋ ಇನ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಬೈ. ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ಡ್. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮದರ್, ಯುವರ್ ಲವಿಂಗ್ ಮದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಹರ್ ಟಿಯರ್ಸ್. ಅಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಗಳಿಗೋ ಮಗನಿಗೋ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವಾಲ್. ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಇಟ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಡಾಟರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಸನ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಡೂ? ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಡೂ? ದಿಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ನೋ ವರ್ಕ್, ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್. Go and open WhatsApp, do some chatting, or TV, or call a friend and go out for a party. What will you do? I am just sharing to cut the story short. Will you not sit by the side of your mother? Yes or no? Mother says, go, don't disturb me. Will you go away? ಯಾರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಥರ ತಿರಸ್ಕರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಗೋಗೋದು? I don't think so. Will you not? It is already 5 o'clock, my dear friends. Will you not give her a glass of water? Little majjige? You had your stomach full, you had your enjoyment. You run and bring mix majjige with rice. You try to feed her. Because she has fed you with so much good things right from your birth. Even before your birth. She has taken care of you. That is why you are here. My dear friends, she will refuse because she is in a different emotion. Will you go away? First feed her, first wipe her tears. Yes or no? Are you doing that mentally? Then when things become better after half an hour, now start questioning. Now start thinking. Ask her, Amma, yenaitu? What has happened? Are you not well? This discussion should go on to your mother. You are responsible, right? Swamiji emphasized responsibility. Innene responsibility. If she is not well, doctor. Or tell your father, ask him to come back home fast. Or if something has happened with relatives, they have quarreled, they have put a false case, some gadbad. Find out what is her problem, try to solve the problem. Now this is one aspect. Now imagine, my dear friends, if your mother's pain is of 1,000 units, please multiply that 1,000 units of your mother in front of you with 38 units, 38 points. How much value? What is the pain? 38,000 or 35,000. Why I am specific about 35,000 or 36, if it will come now. 29 states in India, 6 union territories. That is Mother India for us, which is feeling the pain. Whether it's somebody in northeast in Manipur, or somebody in the villages of Karnataka, or in Kerala, they're all part of us. Today, thanks to technology, where a bomb falls on Ukraine, we shiver here. We get the sound here, bum. But our own mother is crying. And multiply that by 130 brothers and sisters. And right now in Bengaluru, the mother is crying on the streets of Bengaluru, as just now Sir Raghav said. Because of the kicking and the abusing our own mother. This has become a fashion with us. What have you done to your mother? Vivekananda asked a question. So these are some of the points which you have to work on. Whatever you do, doctor, tailor, driver, let it be a sacrifice for the mother. And that mother has done so much, my dear friends. Today, your own mistake, our mistake, or the government mistake, or the education system mistake, ello ಒಂದು ತಾಪತ್ರಯ. It is like a ship. Vivekananda calls India to a ship in Lahore lecture. This national ship of ours, my countrymen, has been plying for ages, taking millions of souls across the other shore beyond misery. Today, by your own fault or whatever cause, it matters not. Water is gushing into the ship. There are holes in the ship. ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಿದು? 1897 ಲಾಹೋರ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್. ಥ್ರಿಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು, ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ thriller movie. What are we to do now? Should we curse the ship? Should we run away from the ship? Should we not all unite and put our head and heart into it and plug the holes? And my dear children, if you say I am a liar, I am ready to die with you with blessings and not curses. Because I love you, my children. I love you. Vivekananda's love for the youth of India. And when human excellence we are talking about, Shrestha Purushaha, medicos are here, or paramedics here, or homeopathy, allopathy, Tirupati, Venkatachalapati, everybody is here. Don't think we just talk about medicine, etc. The entire culture of Ramakrishna mission came through medication. Sri Ramakrishna had throat cancer. The president of the All India Medical Association by name Dr. Mahendra Lal Sarkar used to come every day to give little tablet or little medicine to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer. It started with that. And it went to Sri Vivekananda himself, who made 4 hospitals in India. A 250-bed hospital in Haridwar, which serves all the patients, all the people free of cost. With 4 boys like you, college students. One hospital started in Benares, which is a very big hospital in Laksa area of Varanasi. Started by Vivekananda. So Swamiji sent his own disciples to serve the nation. They were not doctors, but they became doctors of life. So take a program, take a prescription for yourself. Do not give up your health science. India needs good health and good care. First, doctor should be healthy, then you can treat a patient. If you yourself are a patient with depression, oppression, suppression, what tablet you will give? Your paracetamol will be poison. That fellow will run away from you. There was a big cardiologist in Visakhapatnam. He went into depression for 1 year. I said, never go to the hospitals. Patient will die seeing you. Now he is okay. But doctor himself was in depression. What can you serve the country? So first, your health is important. Second, meditation. Learn the meditation lessons. You need not meditate. Just sit in front of Swamiji in that room there. He will bless you. Just come and sit on a Saturday or a Sunday. Read Vivekananda every day, 20 minutes. These 3 prescriptions are enough. My India, the India Eternal, or a biography of Vivekananda, or the teachings of Vivekananda, or some books published from Belagavi, that can be in your bag. Any patient will come, give him a book along with antacid. Along with 1 injection, give him. Everything will be all right. You will be all right, Mother India will be great, and the whole blessings of Vivekananda will be on you. May God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Swamiji, for your inspiring address and for transporting all of us to the times when Swami Vivekananda walked the earth in his physical form and gave the call to the nation for man-making. On behalf of the Ashrama and the delegates, I thank you, Swamiji, for giving us the prescription for human excellence. We now have the question and answer session. I request Reverend Swami Nityastanandaji Maharaj to kindly come on to the dais.
ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ರಾಮ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಓದೋದು ಹೇಗೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ, ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಈ ಥರ ಒಂಥರ. ಹೌ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲೋಪತಿ ಅವರು ದೇ ಅಪೋಸ್. ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ. ಹಾಂ
Actually, surgery was given to the world by Ayurveda. Sushruta ಚರಕನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಥರ ತುಂಬ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮೈಂಡ್.
Before this one, please repeat a quotation. Vivekananda's teaching, remember that, which I teach all the students in Hyderabad. I'll tell, you repeat, okay? Every soul, in ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ? Every soul is a young eagle soaring higher and higher, gathering more and more strength till it reaches the glorious sun. Strength is life, weakness is death. Little louder and faster. Strength is life, weakness is death. Still louder. Strength is life, weakness is death. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಏನು ಇಷ್ಟಿಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಸ್ಕಿಟೋಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಾಂಟ್ ಗೋ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್? ಇನ್ ತೆಲುಗು ವಿ ಸೇ ಪಪ್ಪು ವಿತೌಟ್ ಉಪ್ಪು. You make dal but you forget to add uppu. Come on, strength is life. Yeah, better, but not good. Not best. Come on, strength is life. Weakness is death. ಹೊಡೆದಾಕಿ ಅದನ್ನ. Weakness is death. Mobile is death. Why only corona? There is corona in mobile also. Corona's grandchildren will come, be careful. Come on. Strength is life, weakness is death. Faster. Strength is life, weakness is death. I will tell strength is, you should tell death. Huh? What you should tell? Strength is, weakness is, strength is, weakness is. Faster. Strength is, weakness is. After lunch, when you go home, keep on telling in your bus or walk. When you enter into your house, strength is. Your mother will tell, ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು. You make your entire apartments or house tell. Strength is, weakness is. Yeah, thank you.
Swamiji, the question is, Swamiji, as you told that we have to become selfless from selfishness, but in today's scenario, almost selfishness is more prominent. If we want to change ourselves towards selflessness, what things has to be done for that?
There is something called enlightened selfishness. Enlightened selfishness. You must have this enlightened selfishness. As Swami Vivekananda told, I already quoted during my speech, if you want to achieve your own good, you must at the same time promote the good of others. You can achieve your selfishness only when you are able to care for the good of others. There is nothing wrong in being selfish. You have to be. But the thing is, you must care for others also. Then only your selfish ideas, selfish desires, everything will be fulfilled. Okay?
Swamiji, one last question. How to adopt consistency?
Consistency, what do you mean by consistency? There are so many different aspects of consistency. That means mainly it refers to the moral consistency. You have to be consistent yourself. Whatever you talk, it must be expressed in your action also. Your actions, your thinking, your actions and words must be consistent. So then only you will be a morally integrated person. Unless when you are able to be fully morally integrated person, you will always be consistent only in every aspect of life, in every field of activities. Okay? Namaste.
similar question which came to Reverend Maharaj also. Namaskar sir. Yaru saru, yaru baru. Idan daurabhagya. Shirt hakbitre saru. Western style is the sir. Like in college you have PT sir, botany sir. We are also sars, na? ಒಂದು ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಇದಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಡಿ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸಾರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇವರು ಸಾರ್, ರಘೋತ್ತಮರಾವ್ ಸಾರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಹೌ ಯು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಯು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ or monks or this one and all. So some knowledge you should gain as quick as possible. Shubhasha Shigram. Anyway, after watching, listening, motivation speeches, we motivate ourselves only for a few hours till lunchtime, is it not? But how to motivate ourselves consistently? Same question, same answer, where it says this center is always there. You come every day and your chapati will be nicely fried. Your rice will be nicely boiled. But that little love, little sacrifice is very, very important. You need not go all the way to Amarnath. You need not go all the way to Sri Shailam. You need not go all the way to Badrinath. You can come here, which is Sri Shailam, which is Shiva, which is Punya Kshetram, and meditate here. That power will come to you. Think about the soldiers of India. Think about the soldiers who are, somebody yesterday sent me a video where the soldiers are protecting our borders at minus 70 degrees in Siachen. Why should they protect you? Don't they have their family? Don't they have their children? But still they love the nation and they sacrifice consistently, not just for one day or not just for 2 days. In Bangalore, I have a good friend and connected with our Sulibele Chakravarti and others, Captain Naveen Nagappa, who was one of the martyrs who had lost both his legs in Kargil war. Vikram Batra saved his life and Vikram Batra consumed 20 bullets on his chest. Captain Nagappa used to speak in our webinars during the lockdown time, how he was saved, how he sacrificed, how he went forward. Love of the nation made them consistent. So if you have that love of Vivekananda, love of the nation, love of your profession, then this place is for you. This is like a laboratory. Come, recycle yourself, 1 hour, 2 hours and go back. Every day not possible? Come on a Sunday, come on a Saturday. Take up some seva, take up some project and go, and you will find the biggest thing will become very small for you. So that is also your sadhana, your daily routine. Okay? So instead of wasting time here and there, conserve the time and utilize it for making yourself productive for the country. This is question number 1. Then second one given to me is character strength. Very, very, very important. 2 zeros on the blackboard. Value estu? 2 zeros is equal to? Hele? 0. 5 zeros? 100 zeros? 1000 zeros? Put a rub off all the zeros. Put number 1. Write 2 zeros. What is the value? 1 more 0? 1 more 0? 5 more zeros? 100 more zeros? Invaluable, is it not? Trillion, billion, zillion, so many big, big words will come. Remove the 1, zeros are zeros. Put the 1, zeros are heroes. That 1 is character. If that is there, you are a hero. If that is not there, CBI will come to your house early morning. A huge scam has come up. Only 25,000 crores. Lack of character. That fellow is suited, coated and booted. He's a Manava Rakshasa looting the money of this nation. That great lady called Chitra Ramachandran swindled millions of dollars across that National Stock Exchange. Highly educated, highly talented, but the character was missing. Whose money it is? She sold her apartment in Chennai for nearly 100 crores. And she is in that NSE's top position. She was. She's now arrested. One person can damage, one person can make a difference. Swami Vivekananda said, if character is there, everything is there. Powerful changes will happen in the society. If character is not there, you put Kubera's wealth in the village, that village will be still poor because the man who operates will not have a character. Money will go to him only. Character is repeated habits. Matte, ade alochane. That becomes your character. Not just a certificate, good character, bad character. It is your behavior every moment, inside, outside, alone or in a crowd. So that character makes a difference. Abdul Kalam used to say, if character is there, nothing else matters. If character is not there, nothing else matters. Very interesting point. Please go home and think about it. If character is there, nothing else matters. I don't need any rules. My mind will tell me good or bad. If character is not there, nothing else matters. Any rule, I can break it. So doctors need to have that character. Not giving a 15-20 kind of exam tests for that poor patient. Can you use your brain? Can you have a heart and say, this is enough for you, this will be good? Change your character and you become a god. Okay? So self-discipline is holding back. When you drive a vehicle, please understand the first day how difficult it was. First day, second day, third day, very difficult. After 6 months, you become a champion. And you are operating what? Gear, clutch, brake, accelerator, steering. Who is operating? You. First day, very tough. 1 month, very tough. You feel, besar agatte. But after that, you enjoy car driving. You may become pilot also. Who is controlling? You. Similarly, we have 5 brakes here. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch. Put it under discipline, you can go to heaven. That is your purpose of character.
Well, friends, I have 2 questions. The first one is, sir, since we are in medical field, is it necessary to only practice in our own nation? My tutor once said, never forget or leave from where you have come from. Well, friends, when you study any discipline, including medicine, and in the medicine, any system that you study, the government of Karnataka, government of India will have invested a lot of money on you. Even if you are paying fee for the college, government will indirectly be spending a lot of money on you with the hope that you will serve our people in this country. So please remember, your roots are here and you must always strive to serve our own people. But there is nothing wrong if you go out to learn something else to come back and serve your own people here. If you want to make money and settle down in a foreign country, you will become very selfish, forgetting your own roots. Swami Vivekananda, when he was in America, a very rich lady, once expressed a desire that, she would like to marry him. She wanted a son like Vivekananda. And Swamiji immediately said, why don't you take me as your son? I am your son, Amma. Take me as your son. He did not even, for a second think about it. He wanted to come back and serve Indians in India. And that must be the motto of all of us, friends. Please remember, if you are going to learn, nothing wrong. You want to improve your skill, you are going, nothing wrong. Please come back. Please come back and help our own people who need your services, who have made you a doctor. So this is my request once again for you, because you are the future of this country. I don't know how many of you have heard about Dr. Balasubramaniam, who was also inspired by Swami Vivekananda. In Karnataka, near Heggadadevanakkote, a small village called Sargur, he has started a specialty hospital, multi-speciality hospital for tribal people. Can you imagine this? He could have gone abroad. He goes to teach in other universities, but his roots are here very firm and strong. That must be your motto. That is very, very important. Please remember that. And second question is, when something is going wrong in front of us in the society, we want to change it, but unable to do that because we are not that powerful and strong. Who told you that you are not powerful? If you believe in yourselves, friends, you have that power in you. Individually, you may not be able to fight against the system. Collectively, you have that power. There are any number of examples. In Uttar Pradesh, one lady started one gang called Gulabi Gang. You must have seen that on the YouTube. Single-handedly, she collected all the women of the village and said, we will fight against the evil like, consumption of alcohol, and because of alcohol consumption, domestic violence and all other antisocial elements in the village, she was able to control with the help of all people who assisted her, who joined hands with her. That is very important. So don't say, I can't do it. You can do it. One man or one woman can always make the difference. Have you heard of Anna Hazare? Anna Hazare was also inspired by Swami Vivekananda. He was a truck driver in military. After retirement, he was traveling to his native and he had decided to commit suicide. Please remember this, friends. He had decided to commit suicide. The train was delayed and he bought a small book, My Call to the Nation by Swami Vivekananda. He read that. He immediately decided that he should not die, he should do something for the country. And if you see a documentary on Anna Hazare, it's available on the YouTube, a place called Ralegan Siddhi in Maharashtra. He has transformed the entire village, and that village is now totally free from tobacco, free from alcohol, free from domestic violence, and money is controlled by women. He showed women what powers they have. So one man or one woman can always make a difference. Believe in yourselves, you will make the difference. And in the same question, there is one more addition, an annex. How can I keep myself mentally at peace? Swamiji has already told you that you must practice meditation, practice asanas. And I, for one, suggest, please develop good sense of humor. Try to laugh at yourselves first. Don't laugh at people. Laugh at yourself. Laugh with people. You will be at peace. The best form of meditation is laughter meditation, because as long as you are laughing wholeheartedly, nothing enters your mind. Try this. Wholeheartedly you must be laughing. No other idea will creep in. That is the power. And you must try to laugh at yourselves. I have a friend who is absolutely bald. Not even a single strand of hair on his head. And he has very good sense of humor. Once he came and told me, Raghav, wherever I go, people call me Bandle, Sidlu, Motte, Tirupati, and different names, because all referring to baldness. He said, I am very happy with this, I asked him why. He said, look, my wife, when she wants to fix bindi, she says, bend your head. It is like a mirror. My grandchildren play tabla. I can go out in the rains. I will not catch cold because it runs off like, as though it's falling on the rock. No cold. I need not comb my hair. I need not go for haircut. I need not dye. There are a lot of people who dye, not for the nation, dye their heads. So I need not do all this, but I have only one small problem. I asked him, what is that small problem? Every morning when I want to wash my face, I don't know till where I must wash. This is the way in which he puts it across. That is good humor. Practice this, you will be at peace. And one mantra is, take yourselves very lightly, others seriously. You will be happy. Bhagavan Buddha says, activity outside, tranquility inside. Don't allow anything to enter you and bother you. All that is outside. So inside, you must learn to maintain that peace by following meditation, asanas, pranayama and all that. Thank you.
Just a small example which Sir gave about doctors in India, and he referred to Dr. Balasubramaniam. Where Dr. Balasubramaniam now is serving the country? Directly under the care or guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi in New Delhi. From Mysore, Narendra Modi picked him up and along with a 8-member team has started a new training for bureaucrats in the entire country called Mission Karma Yogi. Vivekananda's teachings of Karma Yoga is being taught to all IAS, IPS officers in the whole country through Balasubramaniam and 7 other colleagues, called Capacity Building Commission. Last year it was inaugurated. Balasubramanian is fully involved into this Mission Karma Yogi, number one. And one person, he said, can make a difference. Balasubramanian's colleague from Maddur near Mysore is Dr. Srinivas Maddur, pediatric surgeon of AIMS Hospital, New Delhi. Quietly doing his work in New Delhi. In Hyderabad, there is a ESI hospital, ESI, for Employee Security Insurance Labor Ministry, for central government, poor people. It was not allowed to function for 10 years by the private hospital lobbying. They had made the building so bad, destroyed it almost. You know how much money was there in the bank in that account? 1,500 crores, unutilized for 10 years. When Narendra Modi came into power, he saw the entire list of these hospitals in India. He found ESI is not at all opened. Doors are not opened. Money is not utilized. No doctors. What a brain. I don't understand this man. He picked up from AIMS Hospital, Dr. Maddur Srinivas, sent him all the way to Hyderabad. From Health Ministry, he put him to Labor Ministry. And this man was given full powers, directly answerable to the Prime Minister of India. And within 4 months, the hospital started. It is one of the best medical colleges in entire Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. 1,500 crores spent in 4 months, paisa to paisa. One man with character, a doctor, can make a difference in the whole country. The All India Institute of Medical Sciences chief director is telling, Srinivas, come back, we need you in New Delhi. He said, you tell the Prime Minister to take me back. And they approached the Prime Minister by a special meeting. Prime Minister said, another 3-4 years, don't disturb Srinivas, he is doing good work there in Hyderabad. Every week he comes to Ramakrishna Math, talks to us, takes some special classes on character, on values, on education. And we have a networking of all our Swamis. Some monks are there as doctors in our Ramakrishna order. One doctor is there in Haridwar, one doctor is there in Banaras, 2 or 3 doctors are there. We have made a networking. Every month they will come to Hyderabad, talk with the medical college students. And Dr. Srinivas is making so different. You go to ESI medical ward, this pediatric ward, you can sleep there. So neat, so fine, so hygienic. That is the standard of our doctors. Not the Americans or Europeans. We are doing it in our country. And you can come to Hyderabad, meet Dr. Srinivas, or have a dialogue with Dr. Balasubramaniam and make a difference in Karnataka and India also. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Just a second, we will certainly conclude. I just have to add one more thing, when I was talking about humor, a very famous doctor by name B.C. Roy in Calcutta, he was known for his humor. And he would make his patients laugh. They used to walk in crying, but they used to go back laughing. Once, it seems he told his patient, you must come to the doctor because we must survive. You pay fee, we survive. You must go to the druggist and buy medicine because he must survive. When you go back home, throw all the medicine because you must survive. Thank you.
I thank all the dignitaries for a wonderful question and answer session. A few announcements before vote of thanks. We have a study hall in the 3rd floor of this auditorium. Interested students can take the benefit of that. There is a bookstall set up in the premises of the Ashrama. After the end of this program, you all can visit there. On 13th of March, that is coming Sunday, in the evening, we have a cultural program, that is Sangeet Sandhya by Chiranjeevi Rahul Vellad, one of the junior artists. On behalf of the Ashrama, I extend a warm welcome to you all to join us with you and your friends and family. Lunch prasada is arranged for all of you and will follow the same convention as we did for the tea time. Ladies to go to their right, gents will go to their left. It is indeed a great day, and we are very fortunate that we got an opportunity to listen to these eminent speakers. We are grateful to have with us Revered Swami Nityasthanandaji Maharaj, Adhyaksha, Ramakrishna Mutt, Bengaluru. On behalf of Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama, Belagavi, the delegates and students, I thank you, Swamiji, for guiding us. We are grateful to have with us Revered Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj, Director, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Mutt, Hyderabad. On behalf of Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama and the delegates and the students, I thank you, Swamiji, for guiding us. We are also grateful to have with us Professor Raghav Rao. Sir, on behalf of the Ashrama, the delegates and the students, we thank you for all the inspiring words. I thank all the Swamijis of the Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama Belagavi and the volunteers for organizing this event. I thank you all for participating with enthusiasm. We will end this program with a mantra followed by Jai Ghosha. After we give Jai Ghosha, you're all supposed to say Jai. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshaha Sarvayajneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Stushte Jagat Tushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagat Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Mahamai ki Jai. Jai Shri Swamiji Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Durga Mai ki Jai. Thank you.